Hi, welcome to Gardening with Theodora. Today is another beautiful day where we talk about gardening. Yes, today I'm taking us back in time, earlier this year and sometime last year. Yeah, this was, I think, the first harvest I made from my balcony garden. I was so impressed at how the things turned out. The vegetables were really delicious and fulfilling. It was one of the best harvests I had this year. And this is how the balcony garden is today. It is, I could call it mid-September, and the temperatures have been really low, I could say, and the plants have not been able to grow to their best potential. Despite that, I still have some vegetables that I can harvest from my balcony. I could say that kale is such a wonderful and hardy crop. It's something that you should consider planting, especially if you are living in a cold area, or I could say that it grows in really many temperatures, or climatic zones, I could say. And those are the potatoes I harvested last week from my rented plot. I'm keeping them there. I was told that when you put them on the floor, they don't get spoiled very fast. And it's also cold at the balcony, so I hope it will be fine there. And yes, my tomatoes. This year has been a beautiful year. It's the first year that I have tomatoes ready on the stem. Last year I had lots and lots of tomatoes, but I had to pick them and take in, and they got ripe from indoors. But this year, they're not as many as last year, but I'm glad. There's something beautiful about it. I am harvesting ripe tomatoes from the stem, organic. It's such a beautiful feeling knowing that you grew your food and you know what exactly has been put in it. And yes, that is my maize. Yes, he did not put, but I'm also glad that it has made a sign that yes, I am here. I tried my best. It's just temperature that disappointed it, but I'm glad that it tried its best. And I also planted strawberries just below it, and it did not grow as much. As I said earlier on, yes, kale seems to be just a crop. That pot had the zucchini, but I removed the zucchini, it got diseased. And those were my calendula flowers, and I think the temperatures are not doing so well with it. And yes, this was earlier in the season. And this was last year, 2022. I could say this is September, it was August. Yes, I had a lot of paprika. But this year I could say we did not harvest anything from the area of paprika in my balcony garden. For some reason, I just can't seem to put a grasp on what I didn't do right. That I didn't have not even one, but it's okay. In my language, they say that the farmer's strength replenishes in the night. You never get tired of it. So I had a lot of paprika that I used, I think, for a couple of months. I can't remember when, but it was a huge harvest. It was like the best harvest in my balcony. And this time I put a lot, and it didn't work out. I also had a lot of tomatoes last year. A lot of tomatoes. But what happened is that the temperatures drastically fell, and I had to hand pick, and they got ripe from indoors. But it was so beautiful. I had a lot of tomatoes as well. I think maybe this year I should weigh. And yes, this is back to the beginning of this season. Take you back in time and back to the present. Yes, this was earlier in the season this year. These are some of the plants, or all of them, that I planted. The sunflower, I think, is just starting to put the head. And yes, I started my plants indoors. That is the kale, I guess. Yes, that is the kale. And then I also started paprika. I could say I started all my plants indoor. And yes, for the I think now maybe but not. I was thinking maybe because I started paprika indoors, that's why I didn't put, but no. And yeah, that is my grape plant. I bought grapes and planted the seed. I took it to the field garden, so that's where it's growing. Maybe next time I could show how it is. And yeah, those are the tomatoes. I started them also from indoors. Yeah, looking at it, maybe it's also getting me reflecting. Maybe I didn't space them well, but it's the same thing I did last year. And yes, I started my plants indoors, transplanted indoors, because I was trying to get ahead of time. Last year I was a little bit late, and that's why I was thinking that maybe that's why I didn't harvest some of my crops. So I started ahead of time, and I transplanted most of my plants indoors. I could say it was nice, and they were really by the time I took them out, they were overgrown. Yeah, that is my chili plant. I don't know how to call it. Yeah, that one is the chili plant. And then the tomatoes, you see, they're now growing. They really grew, so I thought that this year I was ahead of time, but I could say maybe climate change. I don't know. With the things that you don't control, you just let them be. Then maybe next year I'll be a better farmer. And that is the cabbage. Yeah, I had pretty a good harvest of the cabbage from my rented plot. I will share the videos sometime soon here as well. And yes, I started the plants indoors, and by the time I took them out, they were ready, but the temperatures again drastically dropped, and then the increased temperature fluctuations, I could say, is what mostly affected my plants, and they didn't do as much as they should have. But anyway, I'm thinking, because when you meet a hurdle, you keep thinking. Thank you for joining me on Gardening with Theodora today. I hope to see you next week when we talk about more and more gardening ideas. Bye bye.